It's 2 a.m. You should be asleep, but your brain just won't stop. It keeps replaying that conversation, rehearsing tomorrow, worrying about everything and nothing at once. You're exhausted, but you can't rest. If that's you tonight, there's a psychological reason this keeps happening, and once you understand it, you can actually stop it. Here's the first thing you need to understand. During the day, your brain is busy. There are tasks, distractions, things pulling your attention outward. Your prefrontal cortex, the rational, decision-making part of your brain, it's in charge. But the moment you lie down at night, the busyness stops, and a completely different system switches on. It's called the default mode network. Think of it like this. Your default mode network is the part of your brain that runs when nothing else is running. It's like a background app that's been open all day, waiting for you to stop. And what does it do? It reviews, it replays, it projects into the future. It asks, what went wrong today? What could go wrong tomorrow? What does that person think of me? It's not trying to hurt you. It genuinely thinks it's helping. But here's the problem. At night, your cortisol, your stress hormone, is already elevated as part of your body's natural wind-down process. And when cortisol is high, your brain treats every thought like it's urgent, like it needs to be solved right now. So that thing you said in a meeting 3 days ago, at 2 a.m., it doesn't feel like a small mistake. It feels like a catastrophe. That's not weakness. That's just your brain chemistry at night doing what it was wired to do. Now, why does one thought turn into 30? Why does it spiral? This is something called rumination, and it has a very specific mechanism. When you think about a problem, your brain looks for resolution, a conclusion, a feeling of, okay, I figured this out. But with abstract worries, social situations, future scenarios, things you can't control, there is no resolution available. There's no clear answer. So the brain keeps searching, and every loop through the thought activates the same stress response, which makes the thought feel even more important, which makes the brain search even harder. It's a loop that feeds itself. The more you try to think your way out, the deeper in you go. And here's the part most people don't realize. Telling yourself to stop thinking about it doesn't work. In fact, research shows it makes it worse. It's called the ironic process theory. When you try to suppress a thought, your brain has to keep the thought active just to monitor whether you're suppressing it, so you end up thinking about it more. The goal isn't to silence your brain. The goal is to give it something else to do. Before we get to how to fix this, I want to help you recognize which pattern you're in, because they feel similar, but they work differently. The first one is replaying. You keep going back to something that already happened, a conversation, a decision, a moment. You replay it slightly differently each time, hoping a different version of it will appear. The second is rehearsing. You're running through a scenario that hasn't happened yet, what you'll say, how they'll respond, what you'll do if it goes wrong. It feels like preparation, but it's actually anxiety performing as productivity. The third is self-judging, the internal voice that picks apart the day, what you should have said, who you might have disappointed, what it says about you as a person. This one often runs so quietly that people don't even notice it's there. All three come from the same place, a brain that cares deeply and hasn't learned how to rest yet. And all three can be interrupted, not perfectly, not forever, but enough to actually sleep. Here's what actually works. 3 steps, and none of them require you to empty your mind. Step 1. Name it, don't fight it. The moment you identify what type of thinking is happening, replaying, rehearsing, or self-judging, you shift from being inside the thought to observing it. That small shift changes your brain's relationship with it.
Just say out loud or in your head, I'm rehearsing right now. My brain is trying to prepare me for something that isn't happening yet. That's it. You don't have to solve it. Step 2, schedule the thought. This is backed by research from the Journal of Experimental Psychology. Writing down a worry and a specific time to think about it tomorrow reduces its mental interference at night by up to 42%. Your brain keeps the thought active because it's afraid of losing it. When you write it down, you're essentially telling your brain, I haven't forgotten. I'll deal with it. You can let go now.
Step 3. Give your brain a low-demand task. Remember, you can't force the brain to stop, but you can redirect it. Something that works for your default mode network is a low-stakes story, an audiobook, a podcast that's interesting but not stimulating, even mentally describing the room you're in slowly in detail. These tasks occupy just enough of your cognitive bandwidth that the rumination loop doesn't have room to restart without stimulating you enough to keep you awake. Your brain isn't broken. It's actually doing what it was built to do, protecting you, preparing you, making sense of the world. It just never learned when to stop. The default mode network, the cortisol, the rumination loop, none of it is a flaw. It's a feature that hasn't been updated yet. And now that you understand what's happening, you have something most people don't. You have a reason and a starting point. The next time it's 2 a.m. and your brain won't let you rest, you'll know what's happening, and you'll know what to do. If this video made you realize something about yourself, share it with one person who needs to hear it. Not because it helps the channel, but because the person you're thinking of right now, they're probably lying awake tonight too. Subscribe if you want to understand more about how your mind actually works, not just how to cope with it. The next video is about something a lot of you have been feeling lately, that strange emptiness even when life looks fine from the outside. If you know that feeling, it's already on the channel.